What's up, YouTube? And hello, fellow Cryptonairz. Welcome again to another episode. You know what time it is. It's time for Around the Clock, the Cryptonairz ladies of crypto daily news here in all the crypto gossip that you want to know about. Anything you want to know about the metaverse, NFTs, what is happening in the land of crypto, we got your news here, and we're happy to have you. All of you who watch the show on the regular, thank you so very much from the bottom of our very exhausted hearts. We appreciate you, each and every one. And we thank you for being here because we know there are other ways that you could spend your time. If you like this content, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and put on the alerts so that you know when we will be broadcasting, which is Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you'd like to interact with us in another space, we definitely recommend that you join our Cryptonairz Discord. If you use the Fall35 coupon code, you can receive 35% off of any subscription level in our Discord, where you can communicate with Allie and I on the daily outside of news hours, of course. So we'd appreciate you checking that out. Please make sure also that you go to cryptonairz.com and check out what's happening. There's a lot of information, good information there, lots of testimonials from people who have been in our Discord from the beginning and all of the wonderful things that have transpired for them. So definitely check that out on cryptonairz.com. Okay, guys, let's do what we normally do, which is check out what is happening in the crypto markets. So let me share my screen with you so we can do that. And let me refresh to make sure we have the best info. Looks like Bitcoin is up. Yay! No complaints there. It's now at $48,202, up 4.6% for the week. So heading upwards, hopefully back towards and over 50,000. Ethereum sitting at 3,600, up 3%. Cardano, a little bit of a rise from yesterday, $2.50, still in the number 3 spot though. Binance Coin at $430. Solana, our friend Solana, still a little bit of struggle. They just came back online today. So I guess that's the reason why, but they're at 158.55, still not too shabby, down 16% for the week. Polkadot at 36.40, another very highly undervalued cryptocurrency in my opinion, not financial advice, but you know, she's got a long way to grow. And as per usual, because we're so into strong on our Discord and we have a lot of people running strong nodes and into strong tokens, we're going to check the price on that today. See what strong is at $562.15, up 8.3% for the week.
I will
So
take it.
yay, I'll take it too, girl. Anytime,
I forgot
anytime,
to
any day.
mention, we all have those little tokens that we take bets on, and I always say that I'm going to bet on. I like to bet on people. There's a token called Shed, and someone that's involved with Shed is a Twitter account, the Crypto Daddy. He seems like a genuinely awesome guy. And I found out he was dropping a token. I thought I'd take a chance on it. The token makes investments in other projects. What was the first project they picked to make an investment in? Strong. They bought 10 nodes for the project.
All right.
So I was really pumped about that the other day. Yeah.
So the call letters are SHED.
Yeah.
All right, you guys check that out. Another one that we called here was LCX, and that had a nice run up today. So make sure you guys check that out. Hope you took our advice and bought it when it was below 10. I think it hit 10 cents at one point in time, but LCX had a nice run up as well as Gala token. So yay.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice. Just sharing what happened. And those were some tokens that we definitely talked about here were good opportunities for people. So that is the markets today, guys. Going to get into a little regulatory news because the SEC is everywhere. And shout out to Mark and to Sean. Hey guys, how you doing? just want to look at this because, yeah, we got it. We said we're going to keep you guys informed, and we do our best to make sure that that is actually what happens. Um, a lot of you knew that we shared last night that Gary went before the Senate, who is pressuring him, especially on the Democratic side, to create rules and oversight for the cryptocurrency markets. All of us recognize this is what it is, which is, a chance to a money grab. And, that is at its heart, that's exactly what it is. They have to pay for all of these things somehow, which I think are great things to pay for. I don't mind paying my fair share of taxes, which I've done forever since I've been old enough to do that. But I do mind that a lot of the regulation or the proposed regulation that they have seems to not protect the investor, seems rather to that it's geared toward making sure that the 1% continue to reap the benefits while the working class is the same old story. So Gensler told the reporters at the Senate banquet hearing that the SEC is weighing different options for how to tackle problems with crypto and with payment order flow. And if you're not familiar with what that is, companies like or exchanges like Robinhood, for example, the fees that they charge, maybe even other exchanges who charge certain fees for um, being able to do business on their platform, this could affect those investors if they, decide that they're going to either stop this the payment for order flow and or different fees will increase on another. If they stop that, obviously they'll just charge us some other way, some other in some other
Well, it would
department or
completely
some.
destroy Robinhood's business model.
Oh, for sure. So, I mean, and that we know is what brings in a lot of our mass adoption that we've talked about comes through platforms like Robinhood and through Cash App and all of those guys. So, the average person being able to play in the stock market and cryptocurrency, making it easy and accessible, taking that away, we know exactly what that will do. They just want to keep the ball in the hands of the wealthy. And this is just unfortunately seems to be the play here. But this article basically said that he assured lawmakers that Wall Street's top regulator, that Gary Gensler, was working overtime to create this set of rules to oversee the cryptocurrency markets while balancing the interests of American innovators. Don't see how that's going to be possible, but that's what he said. Said his team and he are trying to protect investors through better regulation of the thousands of new digital assets and coins, as well as oversight of the more familiar Bitcoin and Ether markets. He also, and he talks about this every chance he gets, talked about how enormous this task is and how he's going to need more staff. So he's still, working on getting his staff to be increased and getting his department to get bigger and their budget to grow and expand. So yes, there's definitely some self-interest there as far as his department is concerned, and he'll probably get it. And Channing says, yeah, they want to protect accredited investors, not really concerned with the average retail investor, and ain't that the truth? Mark says, the SEC case is a total mess. Fishy business going on as per usual. I totally agree, Mark. So yeah, that's that article. He says that there's basically about 6,000 new digital projects, and they're constantly coming online. Give me more money for more staff, basically. We just don't have enough investor protection in crypto finance, insurance, trading, or lending. So it looks like he's trying to put all of that under the SEC umbrella. Frankly, at this time, it's more like them. We've heard these words before: the wild west of the old world, or the old world buyer beware. Other lawmakers pressured Gensler to pick up the pace, saying that he was moving too slowly, that they needed more definition and uncertain in the uncertain marketplace, and that this is going to lead to unchecked speculation, but could also stifle innovation. Pat
So
Toomey,
which one is it?
Exactly, right? That's why I'm laughing. It's like, what? Pick one. Senator Pat Toomey, a Republican on the committee, asked him basically to kind of leave stablecoins alone since people don't invest in those with the expectation of profit. Um, so yeah, he's obviously, somebody somewhere, some lobbyist in the stablecoin industry has talked to him. So he's trying to basically get him to back off of stablecoins at least. But Gensler has repeatedly said just about every cryptocurrency could be considered a security. So again, guys, more of the same. Here's another article from Yahoo Finance. This just continues to kind of get more and more frustrating, especially when you hear that it's the GOP senators, it's the Republicans that are blasting Gensler's agenda, and the people who are supposed to be for the people, who are the Dems, just aren't getting in this, and I'm not understanding why. But anyway, um, the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission Gensler's ambitious plans to rein in everything from cryptocurrencies to the meme stock frenzy are drawing fire from Republicans. So the rebukes, some of the loudest that he's faced since taking over the agency in April, were criticisms that financial industry lobbyists have privately made about Joe Biden. He's rankled brokers, crypto exchanges, and other companies with his pledges to approve dozens of new rules. So, John Kennedy, a Louisiana Republican, had the most direct attack. And he said, as to people and the companies that you regulate, Chairman of the SEC, do you consider yourself to be their daddy? Okay, so why do you impose personal preferences? But this is another issue entirely, guys. He was asking that some of these CEOs of these big companies have more diversity on their boards, and there was also something about their impact, the impact that they make on the climate, be made public. And I, totally agree with that stuff. But in the case of the SEC protecting investors, in the case of the SEC basically acting like the parents who get to decide for retail investors as to whether or not they should have the right to invest in cryptocurrency because they're afraid the retail investor is going to get hurt. That's all bull pucky, for certain and for sure. And what's up, Florida girl? How are you? And Port City Trading, how you doing? Um, the the nerve, the sheer audacity of some of this is just, there's such hypocrisy. There's no way that this is going to come out without them picking winners and losers. So, how can they say, Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities, and in fact everything else is? I'm really not understanding. um this really is smacks of corruption at the highest levels, as we've always known. And I'm really praying for some intervention, and we've got to keep the pressure on. We've got to keep calling, writing, lobbying, whatever it takes, advocating for us, because if this goes forward as it is proposed, we are going to be hurt by this. It's inevitable. This is Ray Dalio. Many of you may remember him from he's another one of those rich guys that was like poo-poo to Bitcoin and poo-poo to cryptocurrencies. They're all going to go to zero. Who changed his mind, just like Mike Novogratz and Kevin O'Leary and, some Peter Schiff. So, yeah, he has this video that I think is pretty relevant that I'm just going to play for you guys about crypto. If it's successful, that the regulators are going to kill it anyway. So let me bear with me, because we're still having those problems, even though I reached out to our streaming service. So hopefully they will clear up soon. Ray Dalio says if Bitcoin is really successful, regulators will kill it. Let me try to see if I can play this video, you guys. Hold on a second.
The thing is, people
Uh-oh, think I lost it again. All right, one more time. If I can't share it, I'm just going to read.
And home insurance here.
Okay, there,
Why not?
forgive the ad.
Zoop,
It'll
put 'em
be over
together.
shortly.
Save even more.
Geico. I mentioned briefly the idea of crypto, and I know you've had different views of this. A lot of people think of that as a new investment class that has had an enormous run thus far, but also as a way to mitigate, if you will, against the idea of what the value of cash becomes.
Well, I think it's worth considering all the alternatives to cash and all the alternatives to some of the financial assets. And so Bitcoin is a possibility, is that a merit. I have a certain amount of money in Bitcoin. It's a small percentage of that which I have in gold, which is a relatively small percentage of what I have in my other asset classes and so on. And I think that that has the merit. It's an amazing accomplishment to have brought it from where that programming occurred to where it is and take the test of time. On the other hand, if it's successful, it's going to not be, the governments don't want to have it successful. You don't want to have.
But we're starting to see governments like El Salvador. I know that's not exactly going to be the leading government on this, but there are governments that may take this on.
But no. You have El Salvador taking on, and you have India and China getting rid of it, and you have the United States talking about how to regulate it, and it can still be controlled. So that's
right.
What it looks
and
like. If you're El Salvador and you talk about your alternative monies, it's a different thing.
Do you believe that regulation ultimately will make something like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have a future, or do you think regulation will kill it?
Well, I think regulation, I think at the end of the day, if it's really successful, they'll kill it. And they'll try to kill it. And I think they will kill it because they have ways of killing it. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have a place, a value, and so on. But it's one of those things
that has
it doesn't have intrinsic value. If you put cryptocurrencies, or let's say Bitcoin, in the historical perspective, right? There are so many things in a historical perspective that were given that didn't have intrinsic value and had perceived value, and then became hot, and then they become cold. And so it could be either way. You just have to know what it is, right? I mean, like it could be tulips in Holland, and the intrinsic value. So what is the value? And then there are technological changes. I'm no expert on that. I'm just trying to say that you asked me what my opinion is. Take it for what it's worth. I'm no expert on it. I think diversification values. It matters. I suspect the real question that investors should be asking themselves is how much stuff like that do they have? How much stuff do they have? Do they have gold?
Okay, that's enough of that. We know he was a gold bug, as is Peter Schiff and several others who have since changed their mind about cryptocurrency. He's not an expert, and as we have said on this show, it appears that he's part of, even though he's slowly coming around to the idea, as many industry experts and rich folks are, who have an opinion in the financial markets. He's a part of the old antiquated financial system, and they are very backwards looking, and they are not forward facing. And as this goes along, you're going to see that fight between the old guard and this new innovation, and it's going to play out for us in real time. Yeah, if you're a person who believes in the global reset, yeah, these are conversations to be watching. But yeah, he believes that, yeah, even if Bitcoin were to succeed, it couldn't succeed too much or go forward too successfully, because then the government's going to crush it. And if with what we're reading with regulatory news, maybe he's right. Yeah, but yeah, we'll keep you guys informed. I saw this article, and it just really, obviously there's some things, and it's written from the perspective of somebody. It's written by The Hill, first of all, so that should tell you a lot. I don't agree with every perspective in this article, but I do agree with it, the heart and the central issue of it. And you saw on our little thumbnail, we asked, are crypto investors crazy? are we, actually in the possession of our mental faculties? Because that seems to be a question in Washington in particular right now. Obviously, Gary thinks that we are in need of protections of the kind that say that we are not intelligent enough. The masses can't make financial decisions. You're perfectly welcome to, as we said, go get a lottery ticket or go to the casino and lose your life savings. That's okay. But you can't take a chance on a digital asset that may have a use case. That's absolutely not going to be allowed. So, hold on, you guys. I got some noise in the background that I want to get rid of. Give me just a sec.
I will say that while Corey's getting this, while she's doing her thing, this is an opinion piece. So I just want to make that sure that no one mistakes it for news. It is an opinion piece.
Correct. So the article basically talks about crypto risk takers, what's behind it, and that we aren't crazy, but maybe we're just desperate. And what has gotten us to this point in time where people are willing to take the leap over to cryptocurrency and take the risk of investing in it. So the author goes on to say here that we've learned the hard way social media has become a viral force for the pandemic scale political conspiracy. It's not the media themselves that do this. Instead, it is the rage that many Americans harbor against governmental institutions profitably enabled by social media colossi. It is thus unsurprising companies such as Facebook, which grew to omnipotence fueled by social anger, understand better than establishment financial institutions that economic anger is also growing at an ever more feverish pitch. She says that this has crafted the new age financial regulatory framework that requires a keen understanding not only of how crypto assets work, but why they work so seductively for millions, now putting their life savings at risk, according to this author, not because they don't know better, but because they can't do better any other way. She goes on to talk about desperation and how the current savings rate in a regular bank and insured depository is about 0.06%. With inflation hitting at least 5.3%, anyone without significant assets still hoping to save for the future has no choice but to gamble in the stock market or to speculate with crypto assets. And if you were listening to the show last night, we played a clip from Gary Gensler's testimony to the House, and we played a clip of Senator Tim Scott responding to him, talking about the 3 ways that he was taught, that most of us are taught, that are the only ways to really gain economic wealth in this country. One of them being real estate, the stock market, or small business. And most of us, as the average guy, working guy or gal, may not have exposure to the stock market unless it's through your 401k. And then that's not really exposure because most people don't manage those funds. They leave that in the hands of financial institutions to do. So if you are going to get to a place where you can, survive in your retirement, with inflation being what inflation is, as compared to the rate of what most people bring home after taxes, it just doesn't add up. So, a lot of us who saw this opportunity, I was dabbling in the stock market prior to finding crypto as a way to try to make, gains. And it was just as volatile, in my opinion, as cryptocurrency. But that is approved, by the status quo. So that's okay. So I do feel that the author does hit a note here with the frustration that people are feeling, especially after experiencing so many recessions, back-to-back recessions, and having their economic futures in some cases just disappear overnight. So I don't feel that cryptocurrency investors are crazy, but there is a sense of, and I won't even say that they're desperate. I just think that they see that the truth of the matter is that how am I going to close the gap between what I have and what I need to survive retirement, or just to live well, to keep a roof over my head, food on the table, to retire without, worrying about, am I gonna work? You've seen, all of us have seen those senior greeters in Walmart, and some of them aren't there because they want to be. Some of them are there because they have to be, and no one wants that to be their financial future. So, anger, I feel, is real. I feel that there is a real anger that we have towards the government, and where we've got, and how we've gotten here, and how they've continued to bail out time and time again those who least need bailouts, and how we as citizens have kind of been left behind. So we see this opportunity, and people are starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel, starting to make gains, starting to really feel like, man, I might be able to retire. I might be able to come out of this, minimum wage job where I don't have any work-life balance. I might be able to breathe and put my head up and think about something other than survival. And now you want to crush this. So, I found this quite interesting, with a lot of truth kind of in here. Obviously, there were things in here that I did not agree with, like the whole paternalization of the retail investors that seems to happen at every turn. But I did see some things in here that I totally and wholeheartedly agree with. She says here, a sprint is now underway to target crypto in general and stable coins in particular. The hard fact of the urgent matter is that the activity most likely to persuade investors to undertake crypto are the investment, lending, and trading activities most likely to attract vulnerable consumers. Although they are relatively poorer than most other groups, Black consumers are at least twice as likely as whites to hold crypto assets. 61% of the marginalized households say they are interested in crypto because traditional finance does not work for them. And no truer words were ever spoken. No, traditional finance does not work for those who are marginalized, and it doesn't work for a lot of us. So I along with you am hoping against hope that we come out of all of this regulatory nonsense with some skin still in the game, and able to realize the dreams that we all had when we first got into crypto. It's vitally important, because the anger that they are continuing to fuel, if they crush this, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. And I think there was the last paragraph here that I wanted to read. However, new rules and new laws will achieve limited risk reduction as long as the fundamental force that are driving investors into despair and then to anger remains unaddressed. Things won't change unless and until the Fed begins to recalibrate interest rates to favor average savers, not just high wealth investors. Okay, so we'll see. So we're not crazy, but we're definitely angry. And I feel that every time I'm in a Discord, every time I'm in a Telegram room, people who just want to, just as it is known, just get ahead, as they say. Just have their heads above water. Now, not looking to live in the Taj Mahal, or most people I know, we may joke about getting those Lambos in the crypto sphere, but honestly, we just want to be able to pay our mortgages. We just want to be able to buy our first home if we don't have that. We just want to be able to send our kids to good schools. Just the same thing that everybody wants and should have a right to. Okay, so you guys are aware of the Solana news. So Solana says it's back up today and running after a surge in transactions caused the network to crash the day before. So apparently, the team announced on Twitter around 2 p.m. Eastern time that they were able to restart the network. The network crashed because of high transaction volumes, they say, and it forced a restart. Don't know if that had anything to do with any NFT drops. I'm not sure. Maybe Allie knows. But the blockchain Sol token was down around 5% at $160, having hit a record above 200 last week. And so now it's up and running normally again for those of you who want to know. Hopefully the price will continue to rise as it has been. Hopefully they have this problem under control and it won't happen again. But they said the crash was caused by a surge in activity on the network. And it caused something called intermittent instability, and it disrupted services on Tuesday. The transaction load peaked at about 400,000 transactions per second.
And that's the most important part right there.
Yeah.
400,000 transactions per second. I was
Yeah.
listening to Wendy O earlier, and she said even Visa is only processing 25,000 transactions per second. So that's the scale of transactions that Solana is potentially capable of processing. I think the issue is it needs to be more decentralized than it currently is. And I know that that is something that they are working on. So, I mean, I did not sell any of my Solana. In fact, I picked up some more. So we'll see.
Yeah, it went on sale for a minute there. Channing says the majority of Kryptonians got wrecked back in 2007 and 8, and they no longer have confidence in legacy systems. Ain't that the truth?
Yep.
Iron Man says Washington is FOS. 100, my brother, 100. Yeah, so that is the Solana news. She's back, but I mean, yeah, 400,000 transactions per second. That's a lot. Yeah, way better than Ethereum. Just have this little bit of news for you guys. This is out of Ohio. Whenever I see these stories, I like to share them because I don't think that any of us, even those of us who consider ourselves OGs and veterans in crypto, can remind ourselves enough to, pay attention, stay safe. Because these scammers, when I tell you that they are sophisticated as hell and that they seem to get, more and more savvy. So this couple, and it looks like they are, an older couple, lost $22,000. And guess what exchange they were on? Can anybody guess?
It wouldn't be Coinbase, would it?
You guessed it. It is Coinbase. Coinbase has, I don't know. This happens a lot, it seems, that with them. But anyway, they got a call from a woman posing as a Coinbase representative. And the woman used the conversation to gain remote access to the family computer. And the husband was the one interacting with this woman and was able to move the funds from their Coinbase wallet to an as yet untraced wallet. So $22,000 to this couple probably means a whole hell of a lot. I'm sure that it does. She says they're having, a lot of sleepless nights. Coinbase, has stated that they are working with the couple to try to recover this for them. Don't know how that's going to work out, but I don't care who, if they call you, we can hear this 1,000 times, but sometimes people can catch you sleeping. You could be having an off day. You could be distracted. You have to be vigilant. You do, because these folks are getting ever more sophisticated in terms of the scams. Not clicking on links that aren't official links from any channel that you happen to be on. Phone calls that people get, and people hitting you up in the DMs talking about they are with the help desk or support, especially if you're new to cryptocurrency. Those are the people they generally get people that, have some naivete. They're new. They don't know the lay of the land, but any of us can be tricked. So just be very, very careful never to give up, remote access to your computer for any reason. Figure out another way. Never to give out seed phrases, never to fill out forms asking for passwords and seed phrases. But yes, my prayers are with this couple, that they are able to recover the money that was lost. But 22,000 is no small amount. And we have come to the section of our newscast where we talk about the metaverse. And there's just a little bit of news, and then we're going to quickly go review this and talk about NFTs and what's happening. A lot happening with NFTs today. But we ran an article here yesterday about people, hating on Facebook for bringing up this Horizons workspace, and kind of feeling like, maybe a lot of us who had to deal with Zoom during the pandemic are just burnt out. And companies are co-working in the metaverse to stave off Zoom burnout. So the article that we shared with you yesterday basically was about Zoom saying, wait a minute, Facebook is not going to out Zoom us. We are the ones who invented virtual workspace. We're going to get into the metaverse, and we're going to partner with Facebook, especially the on the Oculus, and we're going to present all of these new features so that people, even if they're working from home, can be in an office setting virtually. So there's a lot of companies that are saying, okay, that's nice, but we're tired of Zoom. We're zoomed out, and we don't want to be in a virtual office space, forever and ever and ever if we're working from home. We want that work-life balance, and trying to figure out how they can make this fun and make it more of a game. So there are actually some folks who are working to do that. And I thought that that was interesting because I don't know, what's the difference between being in an office and being in a virtual office where your avatar has to be there? I mean, is your boss going to walk up to your avatar and look over their shoulder to see if work is getting done? So this is really cute. These are people that are trying to create an environment where you have like kind of a more of a um, water cooler setting where people can have conversations and social interaction rather than just work, work, work. So much luck to them. I thought that was cool. As a matter of fact, some of the gaming industries are kind of come in on this, and I hope that they are successful, because who needs that? What's the point of working at home if you gotta still be at the office?
I saw that
Yeah.
Facebook, the Ray-Ban glasses came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
Are
it
they?
was
Do they have
Friday or Monday.
Oculus Vision in them?
I'm not really sure. They're not that expensive. They're only like $250. But you won't catch me wearing them, and you know why? It's the data. It's not that I don't want to I don't want to participate in Facebook, but it's the data harvesting. I'm just not.
Yeah. They're not the only ones doing it, but they're the ones who have perfected it. Lord knows this is true. You guys, we talked about the Rebecca Minkoff, the first American designer to get into the metaverse with her design, her fall design. So I just wanted to show you guys that dropped today. And this is from the Materialized website. If I can share it. They're the ones who hosted this drop. And I just wanted to show you, that is the Rebecca Minkoff collection there. Very spicy. These are clothes that your avatar can wear in augmented reality. Look at this one. Very cute, right? And let me go here. So this is the jacket that I got. This is the affordable I Love New York jacket. I was able to snag me one of those. That was the most affordable one. Those other dresses and outfits I saw you guys saw range from $200 to $500 a piece. This jacket was $59, so I did scoop up one of the jacket. There were only 200 of these, and it's very cute.
It
I'm
is cute,
happy with
yeah.
it. So just wanted to share that dropped today, and it sold. Everything sold out very quickly. So thank God Allie was like reminding me. So I jumped on and grabbed that jacket real quick. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad you saw it because I had no idea what you were up to. But I figured, like, oh, maybe I should tag her.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you did because I was able to snag that jacket. What else is happening in NFT land?
Well, yesterday, first, let's just talk about a few collections, how things are doing in the past 24 hours. I'm gonna look at Crypto Slam. And if you're ever curious on sales volume rankings, you can go to cryptoslam.io and it will have the rankings for you compiled here all together. Let's see, how far does this go down actually? The top 228 projects ranked by volume. And then it will also give you like the top 100 or so sales in the past 24 hours, individual sales. So, like in the past 24 hours, we have an autoglyph that sold for $1.343 million. That was sold 8 hours ago. Another CryptoPunk sold for $1.2 million. A Fidenza, $1 million. So these big sales, they're still happening, despite the events of the past 24 hours, which we'll get into briefly in a moment.
Those autoglyphs, I remember, I think they were minting for like under 1,000. So the fact that one of them sold for a million, wow.
Yeah, it's really wild. So the biggest volume gainer in the past 24 hours seems to be CyberKongs, and they have gained, the difference from yesterday to today is up 195%. CryptoPunks are up 173%. Bored Ape Yacht Club is up 148%. So yeah, we do have some projects moving. And then unfortunately, and actually, you know what? I'm just seeing this now. Yesterday, I mentioned to you guys that I felt like Penelope's Country Club was a sleeper. People were sleeping on it. What do you know? Today, they're up 206% from yesterday. They've got a lot of perks baked into holding the Penelope's Country Club. A lot of these projects for me personally are, if I don't already have them, they're rapidly becoming out of reach, unless I were to sell something. I do have one NFT that if I were to sell it, it would allow me to get into many projects, but I just can't part with it yet. It's one of those things I'm really trying. It's like my CryptoPunk, and I'm really trying to hold on to it for the next cycle to see what happens. I'm just making do with what I have now. It's very hard for someone that's always talking about NFTs on stream every day because there's so many projects that I'm not able to get into, but I love sharing them with you. And I just love NFTs in general. The future is going to be so cool. For example, right before we started on stream, Gary Vee was in his spaces. It was like G Money. And he said that he thinks that there's a huge misunderstanding with VeeFriends, that people still, after, the past month or so, they still don't get it. And for those of you that have followed Gary Vee since like 2008, you know that he's obsessed with owning the Giants one day. It's like one of his top goals, is to own the Giants. And he said, he thinks that VeeFriends holders will be very surprised one day if he ends up buying the Giants, like is his goal, and they end up having a small portion of ownership from being VeeFriends holders.
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
So he said that the understanding is, he went and explains how he has built up some businesses and sold them. And he's going to build entire
No
businesses
jets. No
around
jets. Giants.
VeeFriends. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's saying that? I'm not looking at the
Mark
chat. I have
Estrada
crypto
saying
on.
jets. No.
So now I've lost my train of thought, but yeah, he's going to build entire businesses around the characters of VeeFriends, and he would sell VaynerMedia before he lets something happen to VeeFriends. He has this wild 45-year roadmap.
Wow, 45
Yeah,
years.
I really missed the boat on that one, but
Hopefully the
what
ones
can we do? What can we do?
that you helped us catch the boat to the next, version
Yeah,
2, and I hope that he will
yeah, the
be
book thing.
just
We'll
as
see.
committed with the book.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. And then there was this other project flying under the radar, and I absolutely love it. I even posted a tweet about it, hoping that my husband would see it. I don't even know if he checks my Twitter or not. But like the wife that I am, I drop subtle hints in my feed. My birthday is Monday, and I had tweeted that I would not mind getting one of these for my birthday. And Corey, have you heard about well, the Twitter account is called Peace Avoid World, a digital psychedelic experience. Have you heard about this?
No.
Yeah, I think they're called like peaceful groupies or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna share my screen. I'll scroll through OpenSea with you. I completely missed this. I did not even know that this was happening, so I'm bummed out about it because I really like them. It is one of those 10,000 avatar projects, but what I'm going to show you, the artwork is different. It's just different than other things that are out there now. So let's head over to OpenSea so we can take a quick look at what these guys look like. Here we go. The floor is at 0.18. I mean, that's still affordable. Maybe I'll get in this evening. I think that it actually was a little higher earlier. So maybe it's calming down a bit. They were having a lot of sales per minute. The volume was high. Now, I don't know if I can get any of these. Maybe if I list them for most expensive. Some of them are actually animated and have really cool backgrounds. So I'm going to try from high to low. Here we go. Can you see those?
Oh yeah. Like the backgrounds.
They have some like look at this one. They've got some really cool ones. These are obviously ultra rare. I just think that they're fun and they're different. I like them. So yeah,
They remind me a lot of the Frogs in Disguise artwork. Is very
similar.
So? I like that kind of artwork. Kind of like Rick and Morty or Rocko's Modern Life.
All right, so yesterday, shortly after stream, I text Corey and I post in our server, guys, there are some really serious allegations happening right now. Pretty much no one cared in the server. A lot of times I post in there, no one answers me because I'm not talking about nodes or something. So, but that's okay. I know Cora's interested, so she responds right away. I sent her the link to the spaces. Ron Wilson said, "You ladies should do a VeeFriends giveaway." Oh, sure.
If we could afford
Let's
it,
give away two. Let's give away two.
We're gonna get there. It's gonna happen.
I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to give one of those away. We actually will be giving something away here shortly. I'll announce it at the end of the show. But yeah, so last night after stream, I was just browsing projects, looking at things, and I saw that there was a huge Twitter Spaces with over 2,000 people on it. And it was just called at that point, serious allegations. Or maybe it was like allegations. So I popped in there and it was some serious allegations that maybe many of you have heard about already. I'm not going to spend too much time on the negativity about this because once I go over it, you'll see why it's negative. But yesterday it was discovered that Nate Chastain from OpenSea, who's head of product of OpenSea, had been basically front running all of us. He had some secret wallets, and he would purchase pieces from projects or artists that were going to be featured in the featured section on the OpenSea homepage. So yeah, and then he would sell them, and I don't know what he was thinking, but transferring money back to his main wallet. Now, of course, we know everything is public on blockchain. So someone discovered this, and many outlets have picked this up already. So I've seen articles from The Street, The Verge, CNBC, Decrypt, The Block. The most concerning to me is the CNBC article and probably The Street, although I couldn't read The Street because that was behind a firewall. Yeah, the timing on this, it's really awful because we're going through everything we are in with the Senate hearings right now. And there's like a massive spotlight being shined down on the industry. And it's just really unfortunate. The entire events that unfolded are unfortunate, but it makes it more unfortunate with the timing of how everything unfolded. So yesterday, Corey, can you stop sharing your screen, please? I wanted to pull up tweets. Yesterday, a Twitter user, I'm going to share this with you. This is how everything happened. And then I'll go into a great article from posted on The Verge. And the author there is a top NFT reporter. And I think that he did a really good job how he presented the facts and the things that were added to the article. And he was actually in the Twitter Spaces last night, so he was listening to everything, and he was on stage speaking to people. So he wasn't just getting hearsay. He was looking things up and confirming all of these sources. There are, the article does have quotes in it too. So I'm going to take you to the Twitter thread that first unveiled everything by a user named, Zuwu TV. So sorry, when I have so many tabs open, I'm trying to find like, what is the one I'm trying to share? But I have located it. Okay. So here we have the original tweet that set everything off. Hey, OpenSea, why does it appear that Nate Chastain has a few secret wallets that appear to buy your front page drops before they are listed, then sells them shortly after the front page hype spike for more profits, and then tumbles them back into his main wallet with this punk in it? And here, this is only documenting one of the transactions. I will let you guys look at this yourself, because if I were to click at it, I'd have to share another tab, and it's, yeah. So we have that, and then now we're going to head over to the Verge article, where it really lays out everything that's happened. Actually, I'm going to show you a different tweet stream and thread instead. This is by a Twitter user named, his name is Rice Farmer. Yeah, it is Rice Farmer. So did Nate Chastain really abuse his power by front-running projects on the OpenSea homepage in order to profit? Let's take a look. Nate Chastain's OpenSea wallet containing his CryptoPunk PFP is here. And again, I can't actually click on all the links. 2 minutes later, wallet A sends 5 ETH to wallet B here. Here is the transaction in question. About 8 minutes later, wallet B buys 4 pieces from the Daily Dust collection, one in particular for a quarter of an ETH named Spectrum of Ramification Theory. 20 minutes later, wallet B sells that piece for 1.5 ETH, a 1 1/4 ETH profit, in just 20 minutes. So how did this piece suddenly become so desirable? Well, it's on the front page of OpenSea, of course. Wallet B sells a few more pieces from the same Daily Dust collection, netting a profit of 2 ETH. Within the same hour, Wallet B sends 7 ETH back to, who would have guessed it, Nate Chastain. How long has this been going on? Why do this on a public blockchain? Would Nate really risk his job and reputation for 2 ETH? Maybe he is really a degen like all of us. Of course, this could be a coincidence, but the evidence is right here. What say you, Nate? Nate, as of now, Nate has not commented on this story. However, OpenSea has. They didn't comment on it last night. They waited until this morning to comment, and I will I will share that with you. They said the statement. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to share it directly from the OpenSea blog. Just the timing of this is terrible, but it does prove some narratives wrong, which I think is a good thing. So here we have the statement from OpenSea that was released this morning. Yesterday, we learned that one of our employees purchased items that they knew were set to display on our front page before they appeared there publicly. Basically, they're letting us know that they feel that this is disappointing. They're going to be running a thorough investigation by a third party, and they have updated team policies to OpenSea team members may not buy or sell from collections or creators while we are featuring or promoting them on our homepage. And OpenSea team members are prohibited from using confidential information to purchase or sell any NFTs, whether available on the OpenSea platform or not. So I like that OpenSea has made a statement and that they are planning on doing a third-party investigation. I think that that is important, although we can already see, because everything is on the blockchain, so I'm not really sure if he was thinking he wouldn't get caught or it really
He thought nobody was paying attention. That's what it was.
I think that he just got sloppy, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He's done so much for the community, so it's disappointing that this did have to happen, especially with this timing. There's a myriad of reactions within the community. Some people defending him, one very prominent influencer defending him, and then there was a whole uproar about that even. So
there's nothing to defend. I mean, it's crystal clear. Shout out to Channing Smithson for sending that Cointelegraph article or bringing that to my attention on Twitter. That Cointelegraph article has like wallet addresses, info, and amounts. So I mean, like you said, either he got sloppy or he just thought no one was paying attention. But it's crystal clear because, like you said, everything on the blockchain is public. And Channing has a YouTube channel. So Channing, drop your YouTube channel link in the chat for us, please. You guys go support him.
The article that I've just shared in the live chat, so far out of all of the articles that I've seen, that's one of the top ones. It also has some of those specific transactions that you can look up and look on Etherscan yourself to see what had happened. Now, I think what needs to happen here is we need a decentralized solution to OpenSea. Whether OpenSea becomes decentralized or someone else steps up and takes the lead, one of those things should probably happen. And also, in terms of the curated front page, I don't think it should be one person doing that. Like, why don't we have a governance coin from OpenSea and it is community curated, or even AI based on algorithms, sales volumes, curated that way? I think that could prevent this type of behavior moving forward. Like, it's disappointing to know that OpenSea didn't have this policy, but if you think about it, the extreme growth in the past year that OpenSea has had, I don't even think in their wildest dreams, like the 3-person team that started OpenSea in the beginning, I don't think they ever thought it would grow this quickly. and maybe they didn't think the NFTs would have the huge explosion that they've had in 2021. So I'm not going to be too hard on OpenSea for that. You know, when you're starting up a company, there's a lot of things to do and a lot of policies to make and things to look after. And if you don't detail every specific thing that employees can and cannot do, I can see how that can happen. So I'm not perfect. No business that I've ever worked for has been perfect, although this seems like a pretty big
faux
a
pas.
pretty big action, on their part. It's unfortunate that CNBC has written an article about this, that the street has written an article about this. But you know what? We don't need regulators to come in, because in crypto in particular, if you do something screwed up, the community is going to self-regulate. And that's what happened here. We are always whale watching. People are always looking at wallets, you know, trying to find, oh, what is this person buying? What's that person buying? Trying to find hot new NFT projects, or even tokens, like tokens that whale investors are getting in. Maybe someone wants to take a chance on one of those and find out about it early. And a really good way to do that is to monitor wallets. And that's how this was discovered. This actually wasn't the first time. Nate had actually been accused of this in August as well. And he just blew it off, as he was just trying to get a few of them before they all disappeared, before they were sold out. And then maybe someone, that particular event in August, tipped off that, oh, maybe we should watch this wallet. I don't know if that's what happened, but someone was definitely watching and they caught it. So we don't, you know, Elizabeth Warren, Senator Warren, and some of these other elected officials or nominated officials, in the case of Mr. Gensler, saying we need regulation, we need to look out for the little guy. We're looking out for ourselves, and this is a perfect example of how we are
Damn
trying.
sure don't think the government's doing it for us. That's for certain.
Yeah. If this happened in a large company and this was in the traditional markets, the Verge article gets it right when they say that they would have a whole, it's a quote, "We just invented anti-insider trading by putting this on blast." If this were a humongous trading firm, they would have done so much to bury this story. And it's true. They have whole crisis management teams, PR, disaster teams, to manage situations like this when they arise in large public companies. So here we are, OpenSea, and just the little people watching activities discovered it, and here we are now. Like I said, there's been no comment from Nate, and maybe he is not able to give a comment while the investigation is going on. That wouldn't surprise me. That seems like pretty standard protocol for anyone that's involved in an internal investigation at their company. But he has done a lot of good for the community. That's no excuse, though, for what happened.
No, not at all. So them putting out this comment, these statements, definitely goes a long way toward healing the damage and changing their policy all the way around. Certainly should give the community what they want. I don't know if people will be calling for Nate's resignation or not, or they're already doing that. Don't know if he's going to step down, but at least if he's no longer involved in the curation of the front page, that will go a long way towards putting people at ease.
Yeah, I think that I 100% agree with that. And if they just change the way that that front page is curated, or just drop that feature altogether, you can go in stats and see volume on your own. And I think that there's actually, let me go back to OpenSea. When you go on the homepage, there is the Explore button. So you can always click that and it'll show you random things. Like right now, I clicked Explore it to show me Penelope's Country Club, Pudgy Penguins, Great Ape Society, Dubits, Rogue Society, but just a mishmash of, and even something that costs 0.003 marble cards. I've never heard of that. They have a
Yeah, well,
check mark
I
too.
think an AI that would randomly pick things and not just the big projects, because everybody deserves the chance, would be a great idea, for sure. Just a random pick of the projects on OpenSea, as long as they're verified.
Yeah, and I think that's what's happening here, because there are some.
Mhm.
I'm seeing 3 things that are 0.001 or less.
See,
So
Grant says he's in the process of building his NFT page, still a work in progress. Can't wait to show off his son's NFTs. We can't wait to see them either, Grant.
all right, that's awesome. So that's all I really had to say on that issue. It's nice to see the community even discussing this. Yeah, of course, there was some bickering and stuff, but it needs to be
Of course.
discussed, and it has
Yeah.
been. And I'm happy to see what NFTs continue to build. How is this going to affect the NFT market? I'm not sure, because I'm seeing some massive sales today. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he wasn't the first, and he won't be the last to do something like this, but Big Brother's watching.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And you guys make sure you go and follow Channing Smithson. Grant has dropped his Twitter handle in the chat, and make sure that everyone here follows him on YouTube and Twitter.
I would like to add that Friday, tomorrow, as Corey has mentioned, we have a big interview coming up, and she will briefly touch on that in a moment. But we have another interview on Friday with Human 001 from the Cyborgs project that we've brought to the show before, and we're really excited about that one. So that'll be Friday at our normal time. And then, Corey, what do we have going on tomorrow?
You guys, we have Cryptonairz on, who is gracing our channel tomorrow night. So excited. I'm going to try very hard not to be like fangirl, but it's going to be hard because I have followed her since my early days in crypto. Cryptonairz is, her speciality is XRP Flare and all things associated with Ripple. So I'm very, very happy to have her here. I'm so excited. I don't know what more to say, except I want all of you who are watching now to make sure that you tune in and support us, because we need your support for that show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I'm very much looking forward to it, and looking forward to making sure that, or you guys making sure that you are all here. Tell your friends, tell your mothers, tell your sisters. Tell your cousins, come on in and support us and say hello to Cryptonairz. If you have questions for her, feel free to hit Allison and I up on our Twitter pages. If you're not in our Discord, that is our Twitter addresses right there. If you have questions, you're not in the Discord, you'd like to ask questions, or you can be here and ask your questions live in the chat. That's perfect too. Or you can submit those questions to our Twitter pages.
Yeah, I am always on Twitter. Always.
She is.
Yeah, you can always find me there.
You guys, Stoned Apes did their drop today. And I believe they are still minting. They don't have very many more left. Big Dallas and where is it, me? We both got in on that. So they are like super cute. Still
When's the reveal on that?
They have revealed. The reveal happened today. Yeah. There is the Twitter page there. They got 40 tweets. This is a new Twitter page. They got 261 followers on the new Twitter page, but the guys who developed this have a lot more followers, probably about 6,000. So 6,969, 420K combinations plus. And this has their Discord, their new website, all of that stuff. Trying to see, yeah, there's some art. So these are really, really cool. They have a huge plan, roadmap for these guys and girls. And I love it that they have girl apes. So that is awesome. There's one of them. Yeah. So yeah, go check it out. Terrence McKenna is the originator. He also did minimum wage punks. But yeah, the art is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and they were so affordable. And they made it that way on purpose. So happy about that.
What was the price to mint?
They were 0.24. So with the price of ETH, probably like close to $80 or not even at the time that I'm in it. And gas was nice. So I was able to get 6 of these
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
bad boys. And like I said,
You
it was
got
still
6?
affordable. I got 6 because they have a plan for, actually they wanted you to get 9, but if you have a certain amount, you get certain, entitlements. So I went for 6.
And what are the perks for holding 6?
You have to read the roadmap because there's a lot of them. One of the guys who is on this project actually lives in California and makes movies. So he's got a whole bunch of very, very creative ideas. It's a lengthy roadmap, but they want to be similar to Bored Apes, where they have a club that you can use these in the metaverse. There are certain places that you can get into if you hold one of these stoned apes. So very similar to that, but I like these guys. Like I said, they got a lot of heart and they're very, very community oriented, and I love that too. They're going to be
That's
giving to a
cool.
lot of great charitable causes, and it's not just talk. They're really backing this up. So
That's cool. I'm gonna have to look at those.
yeah, check them out. I think they still have some left, but I know they're going pretty fast. But yeah, that is that. So I just wanted to share. I told you guys I was looking at it, so I wanted you to know that I did get some.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, that is all I have for this evening. How about you?
That's it, guys. That was enough. I'm gonna
Excuse me.
go get some really good sleep, hopefully, and be prepared and fresh to receive Cryptonairz tomorrow night. Again, you guys, we love you so much for supporting this show. Continue to do so if you haven't already. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you tomorrow night here with our very, very special guest. Looking forward to having her and you. And we'll talk to you guys again with another
Bye, guys.
episode of Around the Clock. Good night.